Claw marks had been gouged deep into the bark of an old oak. The police shrugged it off as a wild animal attack. But around town, people began whispering about the beast of Bray Road again, the old stories clawing their way back into the open like something refusing to stay buried. In 1992, in the quiet town of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, the fields were thick with frost and old rumors. For generations, farmers had whispered about strange howls in the night, livestock found torn apart, and perfect circles of blood staining the ground. Most folks dismissed the stories as rural superstitions, old tales for long winter nights. By the time Christine Riley came home for Thanksgiving break, nobody really believed in monsters anymore. One cold evening, Christine told her mother she was heading out for a walk to clear her mind. She bundled up, stepped into the misty air, and disappeared into the woods near Bray Road. She never came back. When the search parties combed the woods, they found something that made even the seasoned deputies go quiet. Christine's footprints led into the trees and stopped, just stopped, without a sign of struggle or a trace of her body. No drag marks, no blood. It was as if she had simply vanished into the air. Weeks passed. Then hunters stumbled on her backpack buried under a tangle of brush, torn and soaked with blood. Beside it, claw marks had been gouged deep into the bark of an old oak. The police shrugged it off as a wild animal attack. But around town, people began whispering about the beast of Bray Road again, the old stories clawing their way back into the open like something refusing to stay buried. 2 more people went missing that winter. Both cases were eerily similar. Footprints ending without explanation, deep claw marks on nearby trees. No bodies ever found. Some said they saw something at night, something huge and hunched, with eyes that caught the moonlight like glass. One morning just before Christmas, a roadside worker driving down Bray Road at dawn slammed on his brakes. Standing at the edge of the tree line was Christine, barefoot, shivering, her eyes wide and empty, her mouth silently moving. When he stepped out to help, she vanished into the mist. All that was left where she stood was a single frozen handprint pressed into the frost. The town grew silent after that. Police quietly closed the missing persons files. Life, on the surface, went back to normal. But the woods stayed different, too quiet, too still. It wasn't until years later that a local historian digging through old county records uncovered what most had forgotten. In 1936, before Bray Road was even paved, a small, desperate German immigrant community had settled those fields. Faced with starvation during the Great Depression, they turned to dark rites whispered from old country folklore, begging protection from something they called der Wächter, the guardian. In exchange for their survival, they offered sacrifices. At first it was animals, then it became children. By the time neighboring towns caught on, the settlement had vanished, leaving only abandoned farmsteads swallowed by the woods. But some deals aren't so easily undone. The fields never forgot the blood that was spilled, and neither did the thing that had answered them. Christine wasn't the first. She wouldn't be the last. The woods around Bray Road were never empty. They were waiting